I want to briefly apologize for a small delay. Right before I was going to go on, a few things happened. One of them is I had a power outage. So here we are now, and I'm glad to be with you. Islamicize Me behind the scenes, live, backstage with VOCAB Malone. We are going to be discussing the infamous ban episode that apparently was too strong for YouTube to handle. So YouTube took it down off the Act 17 Apologetics. Took it down off the Act 17 Apologetics YouTube channel, but now it's all over the rest of YouTube, and we're going to find out if they're going to take it down off those channels as well. Let me get into the comments right away. Twiddling my thumbs. Again, I had a transition. I know some of you guys were waiting in the other chat with the other link, but a few things happened. One is I used this program, but I share it with other people, and I didn't realize that they were going to be using it. So I had to, it's a long story. It's Zoom. But anyways, I had to reschedule what I was doing because I wasn't able to use Zoom. I had to go straight through the Google Hangouts program itself. So that was one problem. I had to reset everything. Then the other problem is right before I was to start, power surge hit the house, and all of a sudden my internet went out. So if it goes out again, I'm going to switch over to a hotspot, and hopefully it'll click on before it dies out or whatever, the signal. And then thirdly, my kids had a fight right before I went live, and I had to go deal with that. So that's what's going on, guys. And some of you, Confidential says, these guys are sucking up so much of my free time this week. Hey, well, you guys asked me to go live every day until the end of the series, so I am trying to do what people wanted to have done, you know, and we're not going to always be doing this, but it's been awesome that it's happened here so far, and so good stuff. Sean Van Pelt said it was the Jew part they didn't like. The fact that we can even see this live is amazing. I agree. I like your attitude. Banned because Muslims are crybabies, says Sophia Films. Well, we're going to get into that. I'm going to get into that, actually, and find out if that's really what's going on here. All right, so I'm seeing you all. Because we had to switch over here, will you guys please share this link? We've got 50 people watching, which is good. Hey, Christian Pie Joyce, good to see you up in here. If you guys could share this link, because I'm not sure if everybody on the other link knows that we're over here. So if you guys could please share this link, I would greatly appreciate that. And then everybody can make sure they migrate over here. Pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. All right, yeah. So I already put the link in there, and I'm trying to make sure everyone knows they need to switch, because I think there's other people waiting in the other one. It looks like there's only 10 people waiting now, but those 10 people don't know. So if you guys could make sure that they migrate on over. I don't like doing the little things we got to do in the beginning, like this house cleaning type stuff. But when you go live, you just have to. You don't really have a choice. Like, you know, there's these little things that pop up, and it's cool, you know, to go live and do things live like that. But also there's these little challenges and tricks. All right, LJ the Art Zeit has already given $2 on Super Chat and says enjoying the series. Right on. I'm glad. Me too. And seriously, thank you for that. So much love on that tip. And I think we're ready to talk about this. There's a lot here to talk about. I'm just triple checking here to make sure everything is good and everything is set. Again, there's still a couple people waiting over there on the other link. If you guys can make sure that they come on over. Okay, good. Oh, Liberty Larry, greetings from Germany. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, here's what we do. We've already got enough questions, so I'm going to actually begin. I'm going to field some of your questions about this banned episode, and then I'm going to say some things that will help give you guys some background about it. And I don't have any guests today, but this is such a big issue that this happened that we've got enough to talk about just with this issue. And so I'm excited to do it. So let's get right into it. Here we go, here we go, here we go. 11 says, maybe they take your characters too seriously and they thought they were real. So we have actually had this problem before, everybody, where there's been some obviously satirical things I think that David has done. And YouTube acted like basically it seems like they didn't understand it and took some stuff down. I forgot to ask David what was the result of that, but this kind of thing happens, and it should be obvious, you know, to all. It's an obvious thing that it's satire, but it's almost like YouTube sometimes, you know, doesn't want to understand. And so they use it as a pretext. But YouTube really doesn't have to give an answer for why they remove stuff. And a lot of times YouTube doesn't really give an answer, or they kind of give a brief pretext answer. And so, you know, they're a private company, and it is what it is, unfortunately. And so Dominic Reisland asked, does anyone have a statement from YouTube about why they banned it? All they said was it violated the hate speech violations. That's all I know as of now. If David joins the chat later, Act 17 Apologetics, I'll ask him for more details, but all I know is they said it violated their hate speech policy, which we're going to look at here in a second. We're going to take a look at it. Mackenzie Kern asks, is this the first time a video by David has been reported? Has David ever had his channel as a whole flagged and survived? Is this the start of controversy with the channel or normal? Well, Mackenzie, YouTube has done a few things, partially under the pretext of the idea of getting rid of hate speech and stuff. They have also been eliminating at a disproportionate pace with, as far as what it seems like, people on the left, people on the right. They'll take videos, they'll demonetize them. They do all kinds of little things that if they'll make it only above a certain age that can see it. They do all these little things. They eliminate your ability to send notifications, on and on and on, that just add up to kind of chipping away your social media reach. And people complain about it, but it almost seems like there's limited that we can do. Now, what's going to be the long term of this? The long term is we probably got to find some other place to go. And a lot of us kind of know that. But for now, YouTube is the best thing. So basically, people are using it until we sort of have to migrate. And so they do this, and they really don't really ever give full reasons why. And the methods and practices they give are inconsistent. Let's talk about this. Cosmarine says, yes, you could still find ISIS-type videos on YouTube. Very strange. Yeah, that's true. Christian by Choice says, YouTube is acting like a Sharia enforcement platform. La Resistance says, perhaps you were flagged, in which case a report of hate speech will stand if complained about it by enough people. The number of people is enough. I don't know. Yeah, so La Resistance, you may have somewhat of a point there. For example, a thing can happen where if someone flags it at hate speech and YouTube decides to investigate it or whatever, I don't know the full process, okay, because they don't really make all this clear. It might be taken down for a time, and then you can appeal it, you know, to try to get it where you challenge that ruling, and it might get reinstated. David Wood had this happen with another video on the Hebrew Israelites, where he had John interview me, and we put up on his channel about Hebrew Israelites. And in that, they tried to get him for copyright infringement because their logo appeared in the video. It was a bunch of poppycock. But eventually the video got instated back. But usually videos we get back after 2 or 3 weeks. This one took like a full month or something before it got back up. So it's possible. And here's where I'm going to get into some of the meat. Hold on. Well, let me get back to my theory. Let me make sure I get into your questions, because you guys are watching. And so since you're live with me, I want to try to interact with your comments, and so you can have your questions answered too, to the best of my ability, as we go through Islamicize Me, because I'm enjoying every moment, because it's almost done. Let's see here. Good comments. Good comments. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Upload the videos. They report me. Okay, just trying to. Okay, David is here. Thank you. Awesome. All right, I'm glad you're here, because I need a little guidance, and you always know the protocol better than me. Here's what David says. You can see him under Act 17 Apologetics. YouTube's appeal process is a joke when it comes to hate speech. True. They give you one appeal and only one line of text to say why the ruling is wrong. Then you never hear from them again. So that means David has done this. I already imagine this. But we'll see what actually happens. So I have one theory, which could be, since the black Hebrew Israelites realized that if they try to get David in Acts 17 apologetics and videos we do on copyright infringement, we'll fight back, and usually YouTube will listen to the appeal unless they have a case, in which case they didn't have a case. So maybe they've seen it'll get reinstated. So we are a little more thinking along the lines of, it wasn't Muslims, it wasn't Jews, it wasn't Christians who don't like it. Our theory, it was those black Hebrew Israelites, because they're the biggest crybabies out of any religion you could ever meet. And they try to find ways to do this. And this seems like something they would do. Go flag it for hate speech. And YouTube is sensitive about that, so they go and take it off. But we're going to look at this video and see that it's laughable that there could be something about hate speech. Christopher asks, were those real Hebrew Israelites standing on the corner, or were they with you guys? Christopher, that situation was a real life situation. So what I mean is, we were in full character, went out in a real street where they were really doing their thing with real people, real passersby, all that. And we really interacted with them in character, right? So those were real Hebrew Israelites. That was IUIC. By the way, guys, we just hit 100 people watching. This is amazing. I'm elated. Awesome. 100 people watching. Those are real Hebrew Israelites that were out there. IUIC. And my guess would be the IUIC, because they're keen on doing this, would also be the ones who would try to get it removed. So we could definitely see that. And so those are real Hebrew Israelites, like, no doubt. All right, I'm just looking for the comments here. No, Tired of Bull says, wow, I thought they were acting. LOL. No, they weren't acting. If you noticed, they were ignoring us. They were totally ignoring us, if you notice. Alexandros Mendez says, I'm surprised that no one recognized you, vocab. Well, here's the thing. Since they wouldn't speak with us, I don't know if they recognize me. They wouldn't really communicate. So I got a sense that some of them might have known who I was, but I definitely could tell they had no clue what was going on. And there were so many out there, I don't think all of them would recognize me. But the funny thing is, I ran into that same camp a couple weeks ago, and I asked them about that, and a couple of them were out, said, oh, yeah, I was out there, and I was wondering, what are you doing, vocab? You know, they were like in a more unguarded moment, so we had actually a decent conversation. Okay, so let's do this right now. People, yeah, David Racine said you copied the style of the Hebrews. Yeah, that was the joke. What we did is we went out there as Muslims, but we imitated their style, because it's hilarious to read Hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari. It's hilarious to read Hadith in the manner of Hebrew Israelites, especially when what stuff we're saying is that Muhammad was white, right? It's just funny, man. Oh, man. I mean, we had a lot of fun with this. So, I mean, this was real life trolling right here. Reading this. Sophia Film says there needs to be a counter Dawah movement in Spanish. Muslims are targeting our Latino brothers and sisters. Yeah, so are the Hebrew Israelites. And I don't know about Spanish, but Sophia Films, I do know that French and English subtitles have been uploaded on other YouTube channels for the Islamicize Me series. David says they totally punked out because they're scared of Muslims. They feared the power of Allah and his messenger. I do think they actually kind of were scared of Muslims. Even though there was only 3 of us, I kind of do think they were scared, because that's what it seemed like. It was a great episode. People seem to like the episode that saw it. What number episode? J. Rue, the episode in question is day 23. We've never discussed it. Right now, if you go on Act 17 Apologetics, you can't watch it because it's been removed for hate speech. That's what we're discussing. And so we are talking about why that happened. Yep. Okay, let me see here. I loved how you were reading, vocab. Yeah. JJ asked what the episode was about. Well, I'm going to show parts of it here in a little bit. I'm curious what that kind of problem that's going to raise. 11 says, vocab, do you have any problem with YouTube about your videos on Hebrew Israelites? Me, a few. Yes, I have had a few problems, but my channel in the past was not as big as it. Well, it's still not massive. John's, I mean, I'm out of those 3. My channel's the smallest. You know what I'm saying? John is bigger than mine. Anyway, it was like, so I think they weren't bothered as much. It's those bigger view counts that they take note of. but they do know who I am, of course. And I think they're going to be more and more bothered and give me more problems. But yeah, they've definitely given me some problems, but nothing that was major that I wasn't able to overcome with YouTube. But who knows? Things are changing. Jessica says the particular group is much nicer than the ones I've seen in Chicago. Jessica lives in Chicago. Just kidding. Marine says, does it cause a strike on your channel when they remove a video? As long as it's removed before the appeal process is finished, there's a strike on your channel. And it's that's why they do things like take away your ability to go live when there's a strike on your channel. They do things like that. Did that group of people take your video down? Jehovah Shalom. If you mean IUIC Phoenix, we think so, but we're not sure. I don't know. David, are you able to tell who's the person who lodged the complaint, as if you are able to tell, just like when there's a one for copyright infringement? Please research for the debating community channel for Google Plus and help us out, my brothers and sisters. Gregorius the Greek. How to watch the deleted episode. All right. Thank you. Rose Body asked, everybody that knows where the other episodes are, can you show them? That's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. Usually I say don't put in links during a live stream, but if you guys could go grab some of those links where people can watch episode 23, because day 23 is online. It's on YouTube. It's also on minds.com. It's just not on Act 17 Apologetics. So they banned it off the biggest platform for it. So it's going to have a lower view count, et cetera, et cetera. And so, guys, this is and we have asked people, go ahead, grab it, mirror it, and re-upload it so that it will be all over there. So you're definitely allowed to do that. Ben M says, what are Hebrew Israelites? Well, David Wood does have a video on Act 17 Apologetics where John McCrae interviews me about who the Hebrew Israelites are. So go on Act 17 Apologetics, watch the video entitled Fake Hebrew Israelites. There are actually more of us. One of our cameramen was in full Islamic garb and another is an Arab Christian. Yes. Thank you, Curios, about your comments in regard to Black Hebrew Israelites. All right. Did anyone think you guys were Muslims while filming Sophia Films? I think so. I mean, I think they thought we were Muslims. At least some people thought we were Muslims. I'll put it that way. Some of the Hebrew Israelites who recognized me may have wondered what was going on. Shanika X says, how graphic was the video for it to be flagged as hate speech? Not graphic at all. I'm going to show it here in a second, and you guys will see exactly what I mean. You'll be like, what? Okay. Like I said, can you guys put in some of the links? If you guys put some of the links in there about where they could watch it, that'd be great. Okay. They give you no info on hate speech accusations. They just take down your video and take away your privileges. Horrible process. So when it comes to the hate speech, they don't give you any information. Episode 20 is also blocked in certain countries. Libertas et Veritas. What was episode 20? Anyone remember off the top of the head? And what countries is it banned in? Do you know? I'm curious about that. That's interesting. And Laura Skay says, did you hear the Hebrews Light that interviewed, debated Michael Heiser? Yes, I did, and that was pretty funny. All right. Yes, you can see an email address. Okay. Let me see. Oh, that's a good idea, Romans 10:9, 1-4, to put that episode on Patreon. You know, that's not a bad idea at all. By the way, there's a couple links now from Elizabeth and from Casa Marine. They put links to day 23. Please don't right now go watch it. If you know, you can wait. Just hold on to it and then we'll do it. Ken Simple says this is only about day 23 or discussion about the whole issue in general. Yeah, it's really just about episode 23, Ken, because we're discussing. It's a pretty big deal for them to remove it for for hate speech. The J Project says, why do they keep eating during Ramadan? Well, just because we're releasing the videos during Ramadan of Islamicize Me, that doesn't mean the timeline of when these videos happen is during Ramadan. That's the way I've always rectified that issue in my mind, that these videos are not happening during Ramadan in real time. We're releasing them during Ramadan, but they happened at an earlier time in the year. See what I'm saying? That in the fictional universe there. All right. So let me see here if I can share the screen because I want to show you guys this episode. We're going to check it out together. And I'm going to watch the one that has... All right, here's a guy. All right, here we go. Charles HB on his YouTube channel. He's got it. So let's watch this together. And I got to share my screen. Just give me a second. The sound is probably not going to be that great. But we're going to watch this together and comment on it and find out why it was called hate speech. You guys ready? Here we go.
Wonderful. Dawah Sharia maniacs, brother. Let me tell you how amazing the Quran is. And let me tell you how majestic and powerful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happens to be, brother. Did you know when you see a shooting star and you want to wish upon it, let me tell you what's taking place, brother. Those shooting stars, like my pythons, are sent as missiles to attack them dirty jinn. Oh yeah, for you kuffar, the jinn are the genie, brother. And you could be dreaming of genie all night, all long. But I'm here to tell you, brother, that when it comes to the shooting stars, they're hurled at the genies like these pythons are hurled at the kuffar, brother. I don't care what the kuffar scientists say. They may tell you it's impossible that a star can be hurled at an immaterial being. But I'm telling you, with Allah and His Messenger, all things are possible. What you gonna do, kuffar, when a shooting missile like my python comes running for you?
All right. So we're going to analyze this bit by bit, everybody. Okay. Now, just now you saw Halal Hogan speaking there, right? And he said nothing except he talked about some of the science, so-called, of the Quran or of Muhammad about shooting stars being missiles that Allah hurls at demons. My favorite line is where he says, "Don't let them tell you that you can't, hurl a physical object at an immaterial being." Shooting star demons. But there's nothing there, okay? The intro is the same. And then Halal Hogan was there. We're sitting there eating, taking notes, whatever we're doing. So that's the first part of it, okay? Now we're going to watch the next part in a second. This is the banned episode we're watching right now. Laura Skay says, it wasn't graphic, but it was hilarious. It was a funny episode. And all day 20 is the farting in the mosque video, I guess, was banned. Okay. Thank you. And also, yeah, people can download and repost. We're not going to report it. Sophia says, did you hear about the suicide at Mecca yesterday? No, I did not, but that's sad. If that happened, I'll have to look into that. That's sad. People want season 2. LEL says, does YouTube have any written definition of hate speech? You know what? I thought somebody might ask that. And so, being the mildly sometimes prepared guy that I am, I went and I looked up YouTube's hate speech policy. Let's read it together real quick here. And then we'll kind of see what they say about what constitutes hate speech, okay? We encourage free speech and try to defend your right to express unpopular points of view, but we don't permit hate speech. Hate speech refers to content that promotes violence against or has the primary purpose of inciting hatred against individuals or groups based on certain attributes such as race or ethnic origin, religion, disability, gender, age, veteran status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. There is a fine line between what is and what is not considered to be hate speech. For instance, it is generally okay to criticize a nation state, but if the primary purpose of the content is to incite hatred against a group of people solely based on their ethnicity, or if the content promotes violence based on any of these core attributes like religion, it violates our policy. Reporting hateful content. Keep in mind that not everything that's mean or insulting is hate speech. If you're upset by content that a specific purpose is posting, you may wish to consider blocking the user. However, if you feel the content violates our hate speech policy, report it to YouTube for review in one of the following ways. Flag the video. You may report hateful content that you think may violate our community guidelines by flagging it. File an abuse report. If you have found multiple videos, comments, or user's entire account that you wish to report, please visit our reporting tool where you'll be able to submit a more detailed report. So that's it. You guys can look at that yourself as well and go through that. And I don't see any way in which we violated that. We're going to show that in a second. Let me see here. Let me see if you guys commented there. Good one. Yeah, okay. I'm just going through these comments. It takes a second to read them. I wish I had a screener, but I do not. This video's okay. All right. Now, let's go ahead and watch more of this, okay? And find out here what the next part is. The next part of the video is where we have a discussion. Here we go. I'm sick, of course, here. By the way, that was real sounds I was able to make. Those are not special effects. Pretty fancy, if you ask me. Look at David's face.
I'm feeling pretty sick here. Of course you're feeling sick. You've been poisoned by Jews almost every day for weeks now. Yeah.
So this is clearly satire. Maybe it was flagged and YouTube watched it and took this serious. You're poisoned by Jews almost every day. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, you know, they poison the messenger of Allah. They're probably poisoning us too. We know they're poisoning us. Why else would we keep getting sick? We need to take it to Bill. Yeah. That's what we need to do. We should go find some Jews. We need to take the fight to Bill. Since I'm sick, I think we need some apple juice.
So this is a joke that I wanted to make sure was in there. My character misunderstands the discussion about Jews to think that we're saying juice. And I say, since I'm sick, maybe I need some apple juice. I think it's funny.
Jews. Oh, yeah. Let's go enemies of the prophet. Yo, you guys know what? I found out where we can find the real Jews. Where? The realest Jews around. Where? I know where they're staying. I know where they do their dawah. Where? Wait, how'd you find out about the real Jews? Let's go get them. YouTube.
So we did this on purpose too.
Oh, yeah.
I say, how did you find out about the real Jews? And he says YouTube, because this is really making fun of Black Hebrew Israelites, really, because Hebrew Israelites, a lot of times they'll watch a couple of YouTube videos, then they're convinced of this new ethnic identity they think they have. And so these are inside jokes about that, right? That's what's going on there. So we are killing two birds with one stone, as it were. And I say, yeah, I watched 2 videos and they're irrefutable.
I think I know what you're talking about. I watched 2 YouTube videos and it told me about who the real Jews are, and it's irrefutable. We could go refute them. Allah.
All right, so that is the next part there, right? That was the next part there. Hey, let me get my David Wood on here. Bless1333AZ says, can you please make this video not 3 hours long? Some of us actually don't want to sit on YouTube all day, but would like a quick and sharp answer. Listen, one, if you're referring to the long thing that John, myself, and David did, that's because there's 1,000 people watching and they wanted it to go on. And we had a lot of fun doing it. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes. Mine are usually an hour and a half or hour. So I'm feeling irritated at that. And if you don't want to watch this, then you don't really have to watch it. So I'm going to put you on timeout for smart aleck behavior. You're on timeout. You can come back later if you'd like. But no one is forcing you to watch any YouTube videos, right? You don't have to watch this. And it's not going to be 3 hours. It's going to be about an hour and a half. And if you don't want to sit on YouTube all day, then don't. Now you have timeout, so you can go do something else. All right. USA Rules Freedom of Speech says YouTube is becoming Islamicized. Yeah. All right, we'll see. All right, so now let's continue on. We just had our discussion. The characters are returning to the video. We just had our discussion here. And now we're going to go out on the street doing more dawah, right? And our dawah is we are going to interact with the true Jews. So our characters are so dumb. Eric Badong, listen, I'm not really being entirely serious. Where's the virtue of patience? Guys, please come. Guys, like when I'm putting someone in timeout, it's almost like a joke. I put David Wood in timeout before. You guys gotta understand there's a sense of humor to this, there's a playfulness. It's not like I'm really lost my patience and I'm losing my temper. There's like a certain levity to some of this, and I just hope you can see it. But since you don't, Eric, I love you, man, but I'm putting you in timeout too. You guys just gotta understand we're having some fun, man. Elizabeth Vocab says those are the real guys he usually interacts with. Yes, these are true. Maybe I can find you in IUIC videos. Yeah, Blackbeard, let me know if you see any videos with me at IUIC. I know there's GMS videos with me in them because I've interacted with them. So we'll see. And let me see here. Someone wants to know what city I am. I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and that's where we did the stuff we did. So yeah, hey, look, I like the supporters. I see you guys on there. We're just having fun. We're just having fun, you know. You guys got some good jokes. Kathy says, "Be careful, Vocab. You'll get banned for killing two birds with one stone." All right, so Vocab is a trigger finger. Yeah, Diana. Today I do. The real Alex opinion. LOL. Now think about what you did. That's good. Yeah, exactly. Now you go think about what you did. I like. You guys are funny. I like you. I like this little community, you know, that we're creating around these projects and stuff. This is a pretty cool thing because it takes a certain kind of person to want to deal with Muslims. Like, okay, we know that. And I don't mean a hateful person. If that's you, we're not with that. It takes a person who can reach out in love, but have fun while doing it because they know the stakes are high. They know that there's a lot of risks involved. So you really have no other way to go through as a happy warrior. You can take the hits, but you can have fun along the way. You can have fun with your theological opponents, and you can have fun with your friends in the fight. And some people's just personality, the way they're built, their style, it just doesn't work for this, you know? So that's what we're doing. Sophia, did you get used to dressing up as a Muslim? Okay, I love the kufi. I do not like wearing socks with no shoes. And I do not, the shoes have no traction on the bottom. I can say I absolutely hate the shoes. I kind of like the way they look. And I like how I can slide them off really easy, but I hated the shoes. Now, as far as the garment themselves, there's times where it felt very cool and flowing, and I really like that. And it's weird. It just seemed to depend on the weather and my mood or something, my body chemistry. Other times it felt hot and sticky and gross. It was weird. I don't know what the factors were there, but sometimes it felt comfortable. And sometimes I felt like, hey, this is kind of stylish. So I kind of dig some of the outfits. Like I went to the store and saw some of the other outfits that you get for Middle Eastern wear, you know, because really it's not necessarily Islamic, but we're dressing Middle Eastern, but the two are so much combined that, yeah, I didn't mind. And we went public places. There's even times where we didn't get change and we had to go get something to eat in full garb. You know what I mean? So we were walking around the city like this. How awkward was it to film the part with the Hebrew Israelites? Diana asks. It was mildly awkward, but David got it set off. And then once David got it set off, I kind of jumped into my character. So it worked out very well. But the Tio Kia episode is still up. You have Elizabeth says, Vocab, you have been on Patreon lately. I'm helping you, just $1. Come and join me, folks. Yeah, Elizabeth, thank you. That is very awesome. I just joined Patreon, and I have been amazed at the support that's already poured in. We got a goal to start, and it's all laid out on the Patreon page. And there's some I put some secret stuff up there that if you're a Patreon person, you get to see that no one else gets to see. Even if it is $1 a month, you'll get to see a video or two or a post or two that people don't get to see in other places. But join if you can. It's just patreon.com/vocab. But Elizabeth, since you're there, could you send the link to Patreon real quick in the comment section, please? And Digital Boss says, why do you bunch all Muslims together? That's like bunching all Christians together. I don't think we bunch all Muslims together. We're just saying here's the sources, and if Muslims follow the sources, their lives could look like this. But really, we really recognize most Muslims don't, and we say that in the video. We constantly are saying most Muslims don't follow the sources, so we're not really bunching them together. We're doing the opposite. Nate says, my initial assumption was that day 23 got taken down because you guys were talking about Muhammad being white and having black slaves right in front of the black Hebrew Israelites. You might be right, and so we're going to get to that part. But really, if you look at it, compared to really a lot of stuff online, this is very tame. I mean, to call it hate speech, it's pretty unbelievable. But he might be right nonetheless, because we try to think like them. So here, continuing to the video.
It says in the Quran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 82, strongest among men in enmity to the believers, wilt thou find the Jews and pagans. He says, Surah 98, verse 6, that Jews and Christians are the worst of creatures, along with the pagans. And so, as Muslims, we must confront the Jews. And after searching, we have found the true Israelites. They stand on a corner here in Phoenix, from which they control the media.
I'm sorry. David is just funny because he's so deadpan and serious about it. But what he's saying is hilarious. And again, it's built upon the idea that we're confused. Like these Jews really are the true Jews. And he's like, they stand on the corner on Phoenix from which they control the media. So we're saying stereotypically anti-Semitic things, but anyone should be able to see it's satire. So I don't think it has to do with that. I really think it's most likely the Hebrew Israelites who did this. But maybe then when the YouTube person watches it, they see this and just want it to be we don't know because they don't provide information. That's the real shame of it. But the stuff David is saying is just so funny. I mean, he said, we as Muslims must confront Jews, but that's something that Muslims say on YouTube all day, all the time, you know? So here we go.
And Hollywood. And so we are here to confront them. Here we find the true Jews.
So here we are. They are already preaching. If you hear them, they're in the background. None of this is acting. This is real life, people.
We are the true Jews here.
He's pointing at them. They're like, what?
We found the true Jews.
They're
here.
filming us too.
And we know that the true Jews have condemned Muhammad and said that white man cannot enter paradise.
Look, this is funny. If you watch this, he says the Hebrew Israelites, these true Jews, have said the white man cannot enter paradise. And I don't know if it was accident or what. I think it was an ironic twist of fate. And the background, they all go, that's right. So the funny thing is, in a way, our characters are standing up for a more equal view of paradise than the Hebrew Israelites are. So how could this be hate speech?
But we know otherwise. We know that according to our Muslim sources, Muhammad was what? Let us find out. Let us find out.
So now,
Bukhari, number 63.
now I read how they read. Here we go.
A man came riding on a camel. He made his camel kneel down in the mosque, tied his foreleg, and then said, who amongst you is Muhammad? At that time, the prophet was sitting amongst his companions, leaning on his arm. We replied, this white man reclining on his arm.
What was Muhammad?
White.
What was Muhammad?
White.
So Muhammad was white.
White. And you should squat when you pee.
So I don't know. Maybe that's it. You know, we're saying Muhammad is white, which that's what the sources say. I don't know. Is that it? I don't know. And now you see John sign. Maybe that's it. Maybe they use that. But I mean, again, you see it's a pretext because first of all, it's satire. Second of all, we all know there's much worse stuff on YouTube than this.
If Muhammad was white, then how can these men say that a white man cannot enter paradise? How is this even possible? We have more sources. Bring them out.
Bring it out! Muslim 6081. It was narrated that Abu Jafir said, I saw the messenger of Allah with a white complexion and some white hair.
What was his complexion?
White!
What was the prophet's complexion?
White! What's your evidence?
All right, so let me stop here. Let's kind of regroup and see what's going on here, right? Someone says the Streisand effect. This is great. I don't know what the Streisand effect is. Somebody tell me what the Streisand effect is, please. Every time I read the Hadith from now on, I'm saying Sahu Abu Kari. Yeah. Habakkuk 2:4. You get it. John is black, yelling that Muhammad is white. That is quite hilarious. Yes, that's kind of that's part of this episode. Also, is to tell black folks stay away from Islam. It's not the religion for black folks. We're trying to do a lot of stuff here. It's like, I feel like it's obvious, but maybe it's not. But we're saying this is not the religion for black folks, you know? Yeah, white. Oh man. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I see what you're saying about the Streisand effect. Did Barbara Streisand ever get banned for something? I never knew that. How did Barbara Streisand get censored? Yeah, I'm glad some of you see the irony. This episode is designed to be irony heavy, you know, laden heavy with irony. And I think that that I think we accomplished that. Peter Pike says, when I saw this part, I lost it because I've had the Black Hebrews do this to me when I was standing at the bus terminal just trying to get home. Yes. Muhammad was why? So you guys see the humor in this, I hope. And if you understand like that, this is how they operate, and then we're confronting them like this. It's funny. Loris Gay says, I love this episode and the other one where you guys were out on the street in character with real confused people watching. I laughed so hard. Yeah, this is kind of a continue of this. You know, this is the one where we're really we're continuing on that same idea of you know, a live theological trolling, and we're trying to do multiple work. We're trying to have a lot of things accomplished at once. So let me continue on, because now David's part kind of ends. He speaks again later. But now here's my part. Now look at these Hebrew Israelites looking at me. Look at this guy right here. And then look, this is the guy on the left they were talking to, trying to witness to. And I think this guy right here is trying to stand in front of the camera on purpose. But it didn't work because our cameramen were pretty mobile. But now here I go, and I'm going to start challenging them on stuff.
You are Israel. Are you Israel because your shirt says it? I have a shirt that says Arizona Cardinals. Am I a Cardinal? I notice you ignored that friend yet again. Make sure you tell these men that in the future you believe he will be a slave.
Muhammad was the white prophet with black slaves.
So, I mean, is that it? Is that why this is banned? I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. It's such obvious satire. It's such obvious. Man, why does the closed caption keeps on popping up here?
6271. It was narrated from Al-Jarari, from Abu Al-Fali. I said to him, did you see the messenger of Allah? He said, yes. He was white with an elegant face.
What was he?
White.
What was the prophet?
White.
11 says, I love how Jamal's proud of this. Yeah, that's what's funny. That's what's funny is Jamal's character like acts like he's totally unaware of what he's saying and doing, so he's like proud of it. That's why we had him do it. I mean, that's well, he wanted to do it. Kathy, be good. That was the best vocab at my Cardinal. Yeah, we're in Arizona. We're out there in the corner by a Starbucks. You know, this is IUIC Phoenix, and so because their shirts say Israel United Phoenix, so I'm asking, you know, what's their proof here?
Next time your son and your daughter or your cousin was white, you can tell them what white. Why did you not address this man? Why did you ignore this man? Do you believe this man can go to heaven? Can he go to heaven? Can this man go to heaven?
Because what was happening is, see this guy in the middle? They were talking to him because they viewed him as part of one of their Israelites on their chart. These are like some Rastafarian dudes hanging out. Another one of their friends is in the background there. I don't know if you can see him, but he wasn't very interested at all. But then they had a white friend that they were ignoring. And so I was pointing out, hey, do you know what they teach about your friend? And why are you ignoring this friend, a white guy, and you're only talking to this guy, you know?
According to the chart you made up in 1969, can this man go to heaven? Can he go to heaven?
Isn't it funny how, if you guys notice, when I say something, John repeats it? Oh, sorry. When I'm watching this, it's so funny. Like I said, according to the chart you made up in 1969, can this man go to heaven? And John says, can this man go to heaven? He yells it. It's like Sin Dog, you know, with Be Real and Cypress Hill back in the 90s. Oh, man, John was hilarious in this. I'm sorry. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, it's tired of bull. Notice deafening silence. Exactly. You are right. And 8, you're right. I'm salty and lit. Having a sense of humor shows intelligence. Lack of recognizing. Well, I don't want to say lack of intelligence, but yeah. Oh, the liberal guy says, did you practice or improvise? We would briefly talk about what we were going to say in the car, but half of it was just us joking around. We would be like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I said this? Wouldn't it be funny if I said this? And then we never really knew what we were actually going to say. And then we would just say stuff when we got out there. Like we had a general sense of, we'll start with this line and we'll end with this line. We need to say this. But other than that, it was just all improv. Most of the scenes that we did are like this.
Tell this man to come beside you. Why do you? In Islam, we would not ignore this man.
There I'm showing that Islam, in a certain sense, is better than Hebrew Israelism.
We would not ignore this man. Is he your people? Is he your people? Is he your people? Is he your people?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Because I'm pointing to the white guy and I ask like 6 or 7 times, is he your people? Is he your people? Is he your people? And then John goes, is Muhammad your people? John is hilarious in this episode. Oh my God.
These men do not know how to pee properly.
And then David with his go-to line, these men do not know how to pee properly. And he's so serious about it. I'm sorry. I'm just dying over here. This stuff's ridiculous. It's so funny.
The prophet himself said that half of the punishment of the grave, is from urine, from peeing improperly. If these men do not pee while squatting, then they do not know the true wisdom of Allah.
David is so serious.
Muhammad, hey, smack.
It's like, if you listen to this, it's like nonstop. Like, oh, hold on. Let me stop for a second. Oh, man. I'm sorry. This is like nonstop. Like, we're just out there yelling, you know, and I'm yelling stuff, and then they're yelling, and then there's people in the crowd who are just like so confused. And then David grabs the mic and starts talking about peeing properly, and then we start reading another passage about Muhammad being white. It's just so funny. And the thing is, if you were out there on the street, it was really this chaotic. Like, it was really the way it looks. You know what I mean? We're not editing it to make you think this is how it was happening. Like, we were out there yelling. They were confused. When we got in the van, we just started laughing because I don't even know how we stayed in character. We stayed in character the whole time we did this, and the cameraman just stayed with us. It was pretty amazing, but it's just so funny. Oh, okay. They're wearing the tasseled fringes. Yeah, I'm going to bring that up actually in a second, Gregorian. I'm going to bring that up. Habakkuk, you are trolling so hard. This is real life trolling, like no joke. But it's with a purpose. That's good. You talked to a pastor today about Acts 17 and he was with it. It's so ridiculous. I don't know how you didn't crack up. I don't know either. Mackenzie, did people come up to us and ask questions, or do they think you're too nuts? I don't know, David. Did people ask us questions when we were out there? I actually don't remember. Maybe David can answer. We actually calmed down for a bit because a cop car pulled up and started watching us. Really? You know what's funny? I don't even remember that. Like, I feel like I was just in this mode. And if David says it, I mean, his memory is always really good, but I don't even remember any of this. Nate says, was the microphone just for recording purposes, or do you guys have a speaker with you to be heard? That's a good question. So, Nate, if you watch in the video, there's one time it already passed where David comes up to me and like taps me real briefly. What he tells me is, hey, be a little quieter because we're recording. So the microphone was not amplification. It was just for recording. So I'm holding this mic, but I want to be heard. So I'm yelling at the top of my voice to these guys. In fact, if you notice in all the video, there's a certain sound at videos where my voice is so more sore or scratchy and Islamicize Me. Those are all the scenes filmed after this scene, because after this, my voice went a little hoarse. So David kind of taps me and says, hey, you know, but it was hard because I wanted to be heard. So I didn't really listen that much about not holding the mic, so I'm a little loud. I just distort a little bit because we didn't have any amplification. They did. Let's see here. Just looking real quick. Here. Double cutting. Yeah. Again, remember we are watching. Let me stop real quick here. Right. What product of polish and brush do you use for cleaning your bookshelf? I don't know, but I need one because my bookshelf's for super dusty. So knowing Christianity, let me know what works. Check this out, everyone. We are watching, let me reset because I see a couple new people joining, a video that has been taking off of Acts 17 Apologetics video. So if you're watching the Islamicize series, you'll see that day 23 is not there. The reason why day 23 is not on Acts 17 Apologetics is because for some reason, and we speculated why, we don't know for 100% sure, it was labeled by someone at YouTube as hate speech. Now, we're trying to appeal the process. We're going to see what's happening. We're analyzing this video to see if it really is hate speech. That's what we're looking at here. Clearly, it's satire, and we can't even, like, to find legitimate hate speech, it's tricky to even find out what they would have thought. But we think most likely the Hebrew Israelites flagged it for that because they've done that before to us. And this Pacific group did that to David's channel before on a different issue with a different video. So that's the most likely thing. And so, yeah, that's what's going on. Just want everyone to kind of know and see. And These are also funny. These are your guys' comments are pretty funny. Okay. BHI already believe that Islam is false, right? Yeah. Oh, Nate. Hebrew Israelites hate Islam. Their arguments against Islam, though, are horrible. They're horrible arguments against Islam. They don't really deal with Islam in any kind of legitimate way. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm going to continue on the video. I just want to make sure I get to your comments every now and then. Where do they buy shirts with tassel fringes? Do they make them do it yourself home? Gregorian, they Hebrew Israelites, especially IUIC, has certain parameters that they have to be, and so they have some secret online shops that you can do, as well as some of the gals in each chapter or camp. They can make them as well. Now, different camps do it different ways. For example, GMS doesn't have a set attire, and so they don't have to do it. So they kind of make their own. So it depends on the group. Avenue Christus Rex says, what protected above reproach group did you mention in episode 23 then? Well, the Hebrew Israelites. I mean, we mentioned Jews. It's called Dawah to Jews, but the Jews in the episode are Black Hebrew Israelites. Of course, we also are dealing with Islam here. Let's see. Okay, you guys, these comments are starting to come really fast. Vocab ever get into a yelling match with Black Hebrew Israelites? Me, Ryan? No, not really. I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty calm. It takes a lot. The only yelling is so I could be heard, but I never really got into a yelling match. You know what I'm saying? Just never really happened. Nah. Do you actually talk to a person when you're appealing something like this? Do you get to actually talk to a person? Oh, Ellie. Oh, you're talking about appeal hate speech? Nope. You get a little sentence to put, and then you never hear back from YouTube. So it's a horrible process. So no, you don't. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump back in here. And again, if you guys could please share these things. I can share the day 23 episode, because even though it's taken off of David's channel, it's still on the internet. We had some of our supporters re-upload it, so it's on the internet. You can watch it. In fact, the way I'm watching it is through another YouTube channel that re-uploaded. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now, and you can see who he is. We got Elizabeth. We got some other people who have uploaded it, and so occasionally, okay, yeah, I'm looking at these here. All right. Okay, let's get back into this, because I want to get into this. I'm going to continue watching day 23, the episode that's been banned, called Hate Speech, and let's find out if it's correct.
Al-Bukhari, 7263, narrated Umar. I went to the house of the prophet, and behold, Allah's messenger was staying, and my shruba, and a black slave of Allah's messenger was at the top of its stairs.
Wait. What sort of slave did he have?
Lord,
What sort of slave did he have?
Lord,
What was Muhammad?
Lord,
What was the prophet?
Lord.
So the white prophet had black slaves?
That's right. These men are afraid to answer. They will not answer because they do not have the Quran. They do not have the Hadith. They will not answer. They believe Bob Marley will be a slave. How do you pee? Is Bob Marley?
You hear John randomly yelling, "How do you pee?" And why am I bringing up Bob Marley? Let me real quickly share. These guys are like Rasta reggae type dudes. So the reason why I'm bringing up Bob Marley is because I know he's near and dear to their heart. And so I'm bringing up Bob Marley because I know he has a white father. So Hebrew Israelites teach that he'll be a slave in the kingdom. He won't be able to be with them. And so that's why I'm bringing that up. And this is on Charles HB's channel. He's one of the people who uploaded it.
In the kingdom, yes or no? Yes or no? Answer the question. Is Bob Marley your slave in the future? Yes or no? Only cowards do not answer. Ask me a question, I will answer. Bring it up.
Samantha Tolstem says, everyone donate $5 to $10 to fund the next series. By the way, that's good advice for whatever we do next, because we spent $15,000 to $20,000 on this. David told me last night that was the total budget, which I was just shocked that it was that high. But then I thought about it and I realized, oh yeah, it was that high. 130 people giving $5 to $10 will make a huge difference. Just do a bunch of super chats. We don't get paid till Thursday, then I'm doing $10 also. Awesome. Yes, check it out, everybody. You can donate right now on a super chat, and that helps as well. Where you donate right here in the super chat, as well as through Patreon. Okay. So I'm just looking here at the comments. Someone says, who's the guy with the scarf? Are you talking about me? Ellie? Someone asked, I'm wearing the white and the black with the glasses. I'm the one reading the sources right now, so that's me.
61. Narrated Anas bin Malik, Allah's messenger, was on a journey, and he had a black slave called Anjasha, and he was driving the camels very fast, and there were women riding on those camels. Allah's messenger said, drive slowly the camels with the glass vessels, i.e. the women.
What sort of slave was Anjasha? What was Muhammad?
Why do you ignore humanity in front of you? Hey, can this man be saved right here? Notice, do you believe this man can be saved? You don't know the answer? Can he be saved? These men teach Bob Marley will be a slave in the kingdom. These men teach Bob Marley is of another nation. Ask them. Ask him about Bob Marley. Is Bob Marley an Edomite? Is Bob Marley an Edomite?
Some of you guys are asking about the wardrobe cost for the series. No, we didn't already have the Thaubs. I always mispronounce it. Is it Thaub? Is it Thob? Is it Thub? Anyways, we didn't already have them. We bought them all. We only had one, and I had them from the Muhammad character I did. Someone's asking about the other guy. He's a bystander. He's with the Rasta guys. So they were friends, but they wouldn't talk to the white guy. They would only talk to the black guy. Peter P, $20 super chat. Seriously, you guys are a rip. So funny. It's a great work and making an impact. My wife and I look forward to these daily episodes. God bless. Hey, awesome. Thank you. Dope. I appreciate that, Peter P, and much love. 11 says, technically, Giovanni got a point. A point about what? Help me out. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what you're... Let me know what you mean about that there. Help me out. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go.
The garments! Are cargo pants part of the garments? Are cargo pants in the Bible? Is JCPenney in the Bible?
Is JCPenney in the Bible? Because look at their clothes they're wearing, you know, except for the shirts. It's something you could pick up in other places.
Black boots, garments in the Bible? Are purple and gold button-up shirts in the Bible? No, they are not. What garments are you talking about?
We have given them chance after chance to answer one simple question. Why do they not answer? Because they do not know how to pee properly while squatting.
Ask them about Bob Marley. Answer my question, cowards. These men are cowards that can't answer a simple question.
Muhammad was white. These men...
John says Muhammad was white like every chance he gets.
Not explain how to pee. But who can?
Muhammad.
Who can?
Muhammad.
Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!
So we kind of went out with a bang there. Right? He just kind of let it all loose. LEL, $10 in the super chat. LEL, listen, you don't have to make a comment, but it's always good when you do something in the super chat to make a comment because it's highlighted. So I'm almost guaranteed to read it. If I don't, it was a major oversight. And for the next time, you've got time left for anything that you say will be highlighted. And so I'll be much more likely to see it. So just, yeah, go ahead on with it. Meaning any comments you want to make, now's your time. But I mean, you know, I'll try to get to you anyways. Bob Marley gets golden when they scream. You guys are laughing, aren't you? I see you. And Red says, very Monty Python-ish in some ways. Yeah, you know, you're partially right. We're doing a little bit of stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if we're at that level, but you are correct. Vocab and a hijab. Yeah, I know, right? The way it's folded. Oh, I'm just looking at these. Yeah, David did love talking about peeing while squatting and standing up. You're right. You are very correct. And who else we got up in here? Is glasses in the Bible? Take them off. Yeah. Props would have added to the 20,000. Yeah, we did have a lot of props. Plane tickets to Phoenix. Yeah, we had quite a crew for this, so that was a cost too. All right, I'm just kind of looking at these questions, and yeah, I mean, Islam is like more open to different ethnicities than Hebrew Israelites are. I love the synth song. All right, so that is the banned episode. Now, I do not know if it's something silly is going to happen, like because of us doing this, is YouTube going to, ban this live stream? That would be super annoying, but I don't know. We'll see. Elizabeth says it was more SNL than Monty Python. Elizabeth, Jessica says they do not pee standing up. Now there's a t-shirt. Yeah, you also wanted a t-shirt that says Muhammad was white. I don't know. You want some funny t-shirts there, Jessica. And shout out to you, Samantha, in the chat. $30 raised for the next series. Awesome. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. LEL, I've never made a public donation before. Oh, well, that's awesome. I was just giving you a hard time. I'm just saying that if you give to the super chat, Ellie, you have a certain amount of window where anything that you say is highlighted in the comments. And I was just letting you know that when you do it through a live stream, through a super chat. And so everything that you say, I more easily see because they highlight super chatters. And that's a way to get your comment seen, especially where there's a lot of people. Like when there's 1,000 people, like we had a couple of days ago, it was hard to read anything. The only ones I could see were really the super chat ones because they were bigger and they're more colorful. It makes them appear more obvious. And that's one reason why people do it. But obviously also people were able to give to something they believe in. David Shelton just gave the super chat, says, love the way you guys expose false religions and beliefs and do it with humor. Because apart from this fun way, it's so sad most of the time. Yeah, seriously, especially it's a lot of stuff we're dealing with, right? It's so heartbreaking because those who don't know Jesus are perishing. Yeah, I mean, we don't forget that. We keep that in mind, like it's troubling. It's tough. It is sad. I mean, you think about Muslims in the world, you think about the Hebrew Israelites, you think about even people practicing Judaism, and you think about the non-religious. People outside of Christ, Analytical Chick says, who lives in Phoenix? Is that you, vocab? Yes, Analytical Chick. I live in Phoenix. Why? You live in Phoenix too? High fives all the way around the team. Teamwork takes down the beast. Samantha, you're right. I mean, this is a team effort. You know what I mean? From start to finish. And even now as we continue on. John McDermott with £5. Thank you, John. What's up with all the people with dogs in their avatars? That's all right. But I see you, John, and thank you very much. Gregorian says, is BHI, Black Hebrew Israelites, a growing or dying group? They're growing fast. And that's why that's actually my specialty. Islam's my number 2. Hebrew Israelism is actually my main area because they're growing, especially in the inner city. So I do urban apologetics because of that. And let me see what else we got. 2 dogs just donated. Yeah. People were asking for a spin-off series. And we've also got... Yes, Cornerstone City, we did see James White responses. Yes, we did. And then I see someone. Oh, yeah. She's also sharing. Casa Marine is sharing the link for the episode. Because remember, it's not on Act 17 Apologetics. You've got to go find it in another place. Okay. And I think that's it. All right. So I'll take a couple questions and then I'm going to get out of here. Anybody have any questions before I leave? I will answer them if you have any. And so for now on, I've pretty much said I might do one little recap about this episode, but I'm just going to take a couple questions and I'm going to get off here. That's kind of what we're going to do here. All right. Built for Speed 101 says, vocab, it's something watching your character descend deeper and deeper into Islamic teaching. You became robotic. Yeah, that's good. I hope you noticed that. Built for Speed. My character had these attachments, a dog and an adopted son and all this stuff. And as that was ripped away, all that was left was this peer in-group thing. And there was pressure from that. And my character kind of just joined in as if that was all that he had left. And yeah, so my transformation is kind of complete at this point. I'm really no longer the old Giovanni. But again, this is a parody of what really happened. So we're doing a funny way, so it's not all dark. But there's legitimacy to what we're displaying here. And I think you guys know that. And we're kind of giving you an idea of it. Tiger says maybe it's because it had the word Jews in it. They didn't let you know exactly why the video was banned. Well, Ellie, they don't really have to, unfortunately. It'd be nice if they did. Casa Marine says support vocab on Patreon and gave the link. Thank you so much. You guys have been great. That's why I've been going live so much. And then Ellie says, your dog loves videos, even though, yeah, I know what you're going to say. All right. And then we've got Where'd it go? Nage Levi says, do you have any book recommendations for dealing with and learning about Black Israelites? Well, it's funny that you asked that. Yes, I do. Just give me 1 second. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab it. Hold on, people. It's my book, Barack Obama versus the Black Hebrew Israelites. This is my book. This is the book I would recommend about how to deal with Hebrew Israelites. So are there any others? Actually, no other Christian apologetics books that deal with Hebrew Israelites as far as the whole book. There's a line or a chapter, but that's it. Just a heads up, YouTube takes 30% of all donations. Lisa PDX. Are you talking about through the super chat, Lisa? Actually, Lisa, stay on here if you could answer, because actually I've been learning about super chat. And is that what you're saying? If you are, please let me know about that. But still, it's it's really there's no it's such a good thing nonetheless, right, to connect with your folks right there. All right, I've got more to learn more about these Hebrew Israelites, LEL. Yeah, just go on Amazon.com, everybody. Type in VOCAB Malone or type in Black Hebrew Israelites, and my book's one of the first things that will pop up. So, Elizabeth, that's the same thing. Where do you find my book? It's right, Elizabeth, it's right there. It's right on Amazon, and just type in Black Hebrew Israelites or VOCAB Malone, and you'll see it. It's on Kindle, and it's physical, whichever one you want. And also, it's through another website called thebookpatch.com. And if you go to thebookpatch.com, you can also order it physically there. And the advantage of there, too, is if you want a PDF instead of a Kindle, you can get the PDF at thebookpatch.com. Sophia Film says, why do you think leftist women like Lindsay Lohan are so attracted to Islam? I didn't know that she was, so I don't know how to answer that. But I know that there's some attraction to maybe what they view as the stability of the longevity and the non-Westernness of it, the difference of it. I don't know. Tornado Freak says, hey, vocab. Gregorian says, do you know James White has made similar criticisms of other Christian apologists who deal with Islam in the past? Why does he do this specifically with Christians that focus on Islam? Gregorian, let me give you a charitable reading of why I think he does that. I think James White sees a lot of folks involved in apologetics to Islam, and I think that he has somewhat of a different methodology and approach, and he just wants a chance for people to contrast that because he's convicted about the way he does it, meaning he has legitimate convictions that he thinks it's a right way to do it. And so he speaks out of a place of sincere conviction when he critiques others. But even though I'm saying that, doesn't mean I think he's always right about those sincere convictions. And I don't think they're only from his theological convictions. So he's reformed, and sometimes his convictions come because folks aren't reformed, and that shows up in how they deal with their apologetics. There's some truth to that. Some of it has to do with other motivations that people have besides really the gospel or love. For example, there's people involved that I think probably actually hate Muslims, and they just want a chance to sort of theologically smack them around. I've seen that. I've seen people who are just pro-America, nationalistic, and they don't really care about really Muslims themselves. They just kind of care about rah-rah. So sometimes those are legitimate criticisms, but some of it I think is cultural, to be honest, and generational. The cultural and generational differences between some of the people that James White critiques sometimes in regards to Islam. I think sometimes that's some of the issues as well. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't. Can you re-upload the video? Side yo, we have re-uploaded the video, but not to Act 17 Apologetics. But everyone, again, could you share the link for day 23? We just showed it, but we want people to be able to watch it in its full glory. Share a link, and you should see it in the chat there, Side yo, because it is up. First time I see you streaming vocab from Brazil, right on, JSDSMS. Awesome. And someone asked if I've ever worked with Jeff Durbin. Yes, in fact, one of the very first main interviews I ever did on Black Hebrew Israelites was on Apologia. So guys, hurry up, go check out where I was on Apologia, and it says Black Hebrew Israelites Exposed, and it's VOCAB Malone, and I'm talking to Jeff Durbin and the staff of Apologia. Who else do we got here? When did you guys film this? Last month? No, it was mainly done in the spring. When it was filmed, it was mainly in the spring. So the weather was still nice because they were like, you know what? We're not going to be coming down once it gets hot. And I agree. John McDermott says, I have your book, vocab. Awesome. Give it a little plug so people buy it in the comment section. 11 says, I knew this stuff, but now seeing it visual application brings memories. I'll never forget about the hygiene teaching. Hey, that's why we're trying to do this, 11, is to make it, have people really remember it. So that's good. That's exactly why we do it. Who else we got? Oh, John McDermott found it on Amazon as well. Laura Skay says, does your book discuss the different sects of HIs? Not all of them, but some of them, yes. I explain it better than has ever been explained prior to the book, meaning I don't explain everything about every sect of Hebrew Israelism, but it's more in-depth discussion of the different sects of Hebrew Israelism and their history. Their history has never been in print like in the book. And my book's not even a hard-to-read book. It's not like so dense packed you could have got to be a scholar. I try to write it very lay level, but it has a lot of information that's really never been seen before as far as in print. And what else got here? Oh, is it All right, what else we got here? So, 130 people watching. Wow, that's awesome, Samantha. Oh, well, yeah. Sophia, have you noticed that leftists who are atheists defend Islamic theology and Quran introduce nuance in ways they never would the Bible? So, Sophia, that's very interesting. There's a certain breed of leftists that does what you're saying, I think. In fact, I know a local professor here that I work with a lot in Phoenix who's an atheist professor. I like him. I respect him. But discussing Islam with him is one of the most mind-maddening things ever, because he just simply won't accept the sources for the sources. He doesn't accept Islamic history, practice for what it is. It's like it doesn't matter what I say or how many examples I give or what sources I give. He just says, well, I know this Muslim over here that doesn't agree or something. It's bizarre. It's very difficult to deal with. Are Black Hebrew Israelites from Ethiopia? Snoop says, no. Those folks are a different type. Those are folks who say that they're Black and Jewish, and they're called the Falasha. That's sort of a name they don't really prefer, though. But those Ethiopian Jews have been somewhat recognized by the state of Israel. In fact, a lot of them got rescued. And so a lot of Jews in Israel today are actually of Ethiopian descent. And some Ethiopian Jews, it's somewhat inconclusive, but it seems like some Ethiopian Jews do have lineage that does somewhat go back to Semitic peoples. I think it's a small amount, but I think there's something there. So that's really a different thing than Black Hebrew Israelites. You know what I mean? And the liberal guy, 109? For real? Am I reading that right? Or does it say $9 in your name, Sec 10? If it's 109, that's the most we've ever been given on here. But I can't tell if your name is Sec. What is Sec 109? I don't know what this is, but it looks great. It looks like it's a large amount. But I'm trying to read what the amount is, but it looks like 109 something. What's SEK? Someone help me out. But whatever it is, liberal guy, thank you very much, regardless of the amount. But I think it's a big amount. And so seriously, I'm for real. And you say, tell David to contact Mr. Bob the Builder from Speaker's Corner UK to work together. He is our Paul of today. He is active at the YouTube channel Soko Films. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. I mean, so Mr. Bob the Builder, Speaker's Corner, Soko Films. I'm going to look some of that stuff up, and I will let him know. I appreciate the contribution and the comment. I mean, there's a lot I got to learn, and I've noticed that I'm dealing with more and more international Christians than I've ever dealt with before when it comes to Islam. And it's really been a good bonding experience with the global Church of Jesus Christ. Cornerstone City 77 says, do you think your videos could be giving people the wrong impressions then? Wrong impressions of what? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be coy, but wrong impressions about what? Just let me know. David Shelton says, you guys need a website where everything can be archived and sell Islamicize Me t-shirts and stuff. Excuse me, to support Act 17. David, there is an Islamicize Me store. It has shirts and everything with Mr. Scruffles and everything. Could somebody go grab the link for the Islamicize Me store that John McCrae set up and drop the link in here? Because I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but David, such a thing does exist, actually. And it costs $55 a month to operate. So unless we can sell an average of $55 a month, we're not going to keep it up. So buy it now. All right, what else we got here? What currency is that? Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, I'm just reading here. You should tell them your A5B crosses. Yeah, I see your jokes. I see what you're saying, analytical chick. I see that's a good joke. Knowing Christianity, will you guys be bringing out merch like DVD of the whole series, Share Armenia, Islamicize Me tops? I don't know about all those things, but some of those things currently are in the store. So about all those things, I don't know. Some of those things, maybe. What else do we got here? Mackenzie Kern once about a Sheepgate comedy with a lot of Three Stooges like frantic running around and falling. Listen, anytime you say do something like the Three Stooges, I'm in, because those dudes are the masters to me. And if I could do like 1/4 of it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Because seriously. All right. Vocab, are you working on more books about the Hebrew Israelites? Nate asks. Yes. I am currently working on a second book that deals not only with Hebrew Israelites, but some of the new urban alternative spiritualities, such as Kemetic, Egyptologists, and Afrocentric folks. It's not going to deal with everything about those groups, and it's a little more technical than my first book as far as parts of it, and it's going to be edited. So there's going to be other contributors and parts of it. I'm the main contributor, but there's going to be other little sections woven in and out of there. And I think it's going to be called Do Your Research. Why? Because whenever the urban cultists approach Christians, they always tell them, do your research. And so I think I'm going to call that with a long subtitle. I think it's going to be called Do Your Research. The liberal guy donated in Swedish kronas. So cool. Wow, that's what that was? Wow, I'm just amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so that's what it was. Has anyone hit the like button yet? Yeah, Built for Speed. Everyone hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, but what else we got here? Who is the Bart Ehrman equivalent of the Islamic world? I don't know. Shabir Ali? He has somewhat of a mainstream, if you want to use that term, or well-known following, and he's academic. And I don't know. Do you mean like an apostate? Is that what you're saying? Like someone who left and now criticizes Islam? I'm not sure it depends what you mean by that. I'm just, let me know what you mean. Okay. Have you heard of a Christian apologetics and apologist, Speaker's Corner UK? He's worth checking out. Soka Films. Okay, you're talking about the same guy. Okay, awesome. I think it's 9. He says he shouldn't like Islam. I read what you wrote, Sophia. Okay, thank you. That's awesome. Okay. Mackenzie, I see. Okay. Well, let me see here. Swedish krona. Wow, I'm learning a lot. You guys. Thank you, everybody. Check out Bob the Builder. Okay, everyone thinks I should check him out. All right. Contact with Godwin from Speaker's Corner. Ryan says the Ethiopian Jews are legitimate Jews, DNA proof. I've heard a similar thing. Okay. All right. What about the Nuwabians? I don't think I'm going to have too much about them in Gerard Perry, but you seem to know your stuff. Not everyone knows what Nuwabians are, but the fact you do is impressive. Benjamin just brought Barack Obama versus the Black Hebrew Israelites, my book on Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, all right. Oh, you had to submit 2 appeals, analytical chick. Okay. All right. Worked at prominent. Man, these comments, wow. Thank you for loving Muslims enough to take all the abuses and for offending them into heaven. The liberal guy with the Swedish currency. Hey, I mean, it sounds like you're involved in the same kind of work, and here you are supporting the same kind of work. So just liberal guy, thank you. I don't know what to say. You guys have been so supportive. It's been amazing. Much love. Very appreciative. The apostate prophet. I don't know who that is. Ali Rizvi, Gerard Perry says, I'm not sure who that is either. LEL, Do Your Research is a great title. All right, we'll see what's up. Benjamin, $2. Thanks. Just got the book. Man, you guys are awesome. Hey, thank you. Seriously. I'm just blown away. Don't forget to dunk your flies. Prayers for Coptic Christians. Yeah, that's a true thing. Seriously. Prayers for Coptic Christians. And by the way, we are going to have Robert Spencer in the series. In fact, I believe that the next episode, maybe even today's, he might be in it. Okay, so I think I've answered all the questions in there. I went through the comments. It's kind of tricky because I have to go through and read the comments. One day, what I need is a sort of a screener almost, someone who can look through the comments and say, hey, Vocab, you need to answer this one. Hey, Vocab, answer this one. Because this is pretty tricky. It's pretty difficult to do all this, and I know there's a little bit of a pause and a lag while I'm doing it. I'm sorry, I try to read fast, but I'm just surprised at how many people constantly show up for these. So again, listen up, guys. I'm looking right at you. I want to talk to you. My goal, what I'm going to try to do, what I've told you I'm going to do, my plan, what I hope to do, et cetera, is during the remainder of Islamicize Me, go live once a day. things happen, life happens. Maybe one time I'll upload a video, but I won't miss any days. I'm going to give you something at least every day in some way till the series is done. Like to do it by going live because it seems to be a very great way to do this. We may even go live a few times after the series is over to recap, to talk about it. So it's not over, right? This is a special time. Nothing like this has been done. When a series is done and complete, then it'll be interesting to see what the reaction is too, because it's happening right now, but it'll be very interesting to see what people say once it's all done. Because if you notice, it took until like day 20 for some of the criticism to catch on. And I got to tell you guys, I know you guys are like, some of you are like, why do they criticize? Look, people have a right to criticize, first of all. I just hope it can be done in a respectful, mature way. And I think by and large, it's been done. So I'm not really upset about any of the criticism. I respect and love those brothers and sisters that have legitimate criticism. You know, I don't have anything bad to say like that. But what I've seen is, to be honest, it's actually helped the series because it's drawn more people to know about it. Like it hasn't hurt it. Now, some people say that this episode that we discussed today that got banned for hate speech, some people think that that's going to help this episode series as well. I don't know. We'll find out. I know that so far, you know, if it's not an Act 17, it's difficult for it to have the same amount of view counts, but it's in multiple places online. It's on Minds, but so far it seems like it has a lower view count, but it does kind of bring attention to it if one of the videos is flagged for hate speech. One of the other videos got flagged for 13 and over. It has to be age restricted. So we've had 2 videos in some way that have been tinkered with that I know about as far as the Islamicize Me series. I hope it doesn't happen with any of the others. I really, really hope. As we get into the end, I hope this does not happen at all with any other videos. We'll find out and see. I'm going to look one more time here at your guys' comments and see what else has been said here. And let me see. Let me just... Some of these comments are funny, but I don't necessarily want to read them all because they'll get me in trouble even just to read some of them. But these are good. And just so you know, what they do now is, oh wow, Analytical Chick says, I'm subbed just so I could watch the live streams. I'm not Christian, so most of the channel isn't for me. Really? What's your deal, Analytical Chick? Like, what do you like? What do you? I'm curious. Why are you into this? That's very interesting. Wow. Okay. But I'm glad that you are here for this. I'm looking at everything else. The link was just posted for the Islamicize Me store, which is very awesome. I appreciate that as well. Be sure to see that. Let me share it one more time in here. Here. Oh, wait. Where'd it go? Someone just posted the link for the store here. I'll show it to you guys in here. Here's the link to the store. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. That's a link to the store. All right. All right. Oh, hey, K-Dub, what's up? K-Dub says he did his final lecture on the Black Hebrewites on church today. Everyone, check out K-Dub's channel. Subscribe to him. He's got some great stuff on the Black Hebrewites who we've been talking about in this episode, of course, had to do with. Hey, could you shut that door, son, please? I need to talk. No, not right now. Not right now. Sorry, the kids are starting to need me. And, okay. Yeah, just checking out these. Analytical Check says I'm Jewish. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't, you know. But let's talk. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you on here, and I'll try to check out your channel, see if you have any content on there, because you mentioned some of your videos and all that. So again, you guys check out K-Dub and respond to his stuff. He's got some great stuff on the Black Hebrew Israelites. So hey, there's going to be a new episode dropping today. It's coming out today. So be sure to follow Act 17 Apologetics. Make sure you're subscribed if you have not been. Make sure that, did we lost vocab? No, I just had to talk to the kids real quick there. And so everybody, make sure you get the new episode today and make sure that you check tomorrow, because I'm probably going to comment tomorrow on today's episode that comes out. And so I love you guys. You guys have blessed me immensely. And you guys got some really good comments on here, and I'm really glad about what we have going on. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So with that, I'm going to jump off here. God bless. Peace out. Shalom.